Spring is in the air, the end of the ice fishing season fast approaching, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the fishing isn't hot right now. We have the Baron of Burbot himself, Jason Matity of MatitysGetFishing.com, joining us this morning to talk a little bit about that shoulder season between the end of the winter and the beginning of the summer season on the lakes.
Well, and you know, this is something that we're normally talking about in April, the end of the season, because with the kind of forecast Phil's kicking out there, this will be the end. I predict this weekend. And for people to walk, I recommend walking only, and taking this big thing like this, which is a spud bar to check the edge of the ice, making sure that it's safe, having those metal toe grips because there's no snow, so you're going to slide all over the place and you don't want to fall. So that's the first thing. But once you take care of the safety issues and making sure you have good galoshes and boots so your feet don't get wet, now we talk about the tactics to really cash in at this time of year.
The big thing about the early thaw this year is that, and you're certainly closer to the fishing community than I am. Did you get a sense for a lot of people getting caught short, either not getting their shacks off or that sort of stuff?
Well, I know that a really new trend is those portable shacks that you basically set up when you start, take everything home during the day, so you eliminate that stress of having to get the shack off, because as you have freeze thaw, it starts to sink in the ice, and some guys end up chainsawing off their shack and leaving the rest, which you're not supposed to do. I think you're in real trouble if you didn't get your shack off last weekend, so that may be one to throw into the story file for Saturday.
So you talk about the fact that there is still some good ice fishing to be had out there, safety first in mind. What are the strategies at this time of the year? Well,
as we're playing the video in the background, one of the things I like to do is to take advantage of your two rods. You can use two lines in the wintertime. And for burbot and pike, even for walleyes a little later in the day when they move in, what I'll do is I'll have a hole cut like right here, and another one where Sabine is, just off camera over here, about 10 feet away, and I'll jig locally and distance like this. And people look at us and they're like, what are you doing, right? and what it is that it seems like at times those fish, they'll come into this lure and they're attracted, but I don't know if it's your feet, if it's your shadow, whatever it is, they don't like it. So all of a sudden you'll get a shot on this rod. And then you just set this one down the ice, you run over and land that fish. And it's a great 1-2 punch for burbot, pike, and even walleyes at certain times.
So when you talk about the jig mechanism, what are you jigging at this time of the year?
Well, we like a variety of lures that are big and make a ton of noise. That seems to be what really gets the fish going. I just brought a few of them here. And, these are all of our favorites. Big, flashy, make a lot of noise. This is one we like to load up with bait, the real bait flasher jig. The good old Len Thompson, you just can't go wrong.
Five of diamonds.
Nothing is louder and more annoying to fish down there than that thing. Also, a plain Jane spoon, which has a lot of thud when it hits, and this Rapella sinking snap wrap. That thing pounds and spins, and it's just a crazy amount of flash and noise and annoyance for those fish down there.
It's interesting that various times of the year you're looking for some lures that are a little more subtle, and then in this case, I mean, you're almost looking like a tire chain with a hubcap on the end of it to make the noise and wake everybody up.
That's a great idea. I think I have an idea for a lure, Chris. We'll have to talk to a couple of companies about that. But really, as it warms up, these fish are going on one last binge, particularly the perch, walleye, and pike before they spawn. So they're really looking to fill up. And when you can let them know where the food is, that is often enough to get them to come in and takes care of the attraction part. If they're being jerks a little bit, you might want to downsize to the 1/4 ounce size and be a bit more subtle. That's the thing. You start aggressive, bring them in. If they hit it, great. If they don't, at least you brought them in and you work on your presentation game after that.
All good stuff. And of course, if people want more information on the fishing world, MatitysGetFishing.com.
For sure. Anytime.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.